Our story begins here in Sutton Park. The park is the 7th largest urban park in Europe, enclosing 2,400 acres. Originally, it was a royal forest established by the Anglo-Saxon Mercian kings in the 9th century. Even today, herds of cows and Exmoor ponies wander around freely. The jewels in the crown of the park are the 7 man-made pools. Bracebridge is the largest, and it was dammed in the 15th century. Powell's, Longmoor and Blackroot pools date from the 18th century and were created to run water mills. But it's Bracebridge Pool where we start our odyssey to follow the ancient Ebrook. The Ebrook runs out of Bracebridge through the park to join Blackroot Pool. The site of the original watermill for which it was constructed has a marker. From the opposite corner of the pool, the Ebrook then runs through the park till it reaches Windley Pool. This pool dates to the 12th century and is the oldest. From here, it runs behind houses till it's culverted underground beneath the Sutton Grace Church shopping centre. The Ebrook then re-emerges and flows beneath the freight railway line arch into the Newhall Valley. We can now follow the Ebrook from the air along the valley floor, which is quite flat as you can see. This is because Newhall Valley is a glacial valley exposed after the last ice age ended 10,000 years ago. During the last ice age, glaciers extended to just south of where Coventry now stands. Proof of the valley being of glacial origin can be found in my back garden. These 3 stones are from my garden. All are worn flat on one side, where the glaciers pushed them against hard surfaces as they extended south. When the glaciers retreated, the stones were left behind. Newhall gets its name from the medieval manor house, now used as a 4-star hotel. It's claimed to be one of the oldest inhabited moat houses in Britain, dating from the 13th century. First reference to it is in 1435. The Great Chamber dates back to the 15th century. The Ebrook provided the motive power for many watermills in the Sutton area during the very early industrial age. The trust that renovated it have open days throughout the year for the public where they can come and view the milling of corn. The large water wheel provides the motive power to drive the rest of the cogs in the mill. So let's return on our odyssey down to the Ebrook. The mill race runs parallel to the Ebrook here, eventually running into the dam lake at Penn's Hall. Penn's Hall Dam Lake was created by the construction of a 30-foot high earth wall dam separating the lake from the Ebrook 20 feet below. The mill race still feeds it with water. The water was used to provide power to a mill that produced drawn wire. The mill owner, Baron Dickinson Webster, Baron being a given name, not a heraldic title, built Penn's Lane Hall, now a hotel, from the proceeds. He became very rich. The mill supplied the wire for the very first transatlantic telegraph cable. On August the 16th, 1858, the first telegraph messages were sent to America. The cable route map shows the construction of the cable at the bottom left-hand side that was originally made here in Sutton Coldfield. The Ebrook now takes us down towards the Pipe Hayes area. This 1931 photograph shows us Pipe Hall still exhibiting its Tudor-style graphics. Hervey Bagot built the house in 1625, and the Bagot family lived here for over 250 years. It's now undergoing renovation by Mr. Jerry Portney to become a 60-bed hotel. We're now on the final stage of our Odyssey as we rejoin the Ebrook, down towards the Plantsbrook Nature Reserve and the River Tame. The Ebrook now flows into Plantsbrook Nature Reserve. From the air, we can see the 5 pools. The nature reserve is full of wildlife, ducks, geese, grebes, and plants of all varieties. The Ebrook now runs through these 4 tunnels that go underneath the railway line that goes from Birmingham to Lichfield. The map also tells me that on the other side of these tunnels is the River Tame, but I've not got a light with me, just my wellies. The other side of the tunnel looks to be about 100 yards long. I don't know how deep the water is here. There could be a big gaping hole. I'm feeling with my willies the rocks and boulders underneath my feet, which could cause me to trip up. So I tread very carefully, taking just small steps. The water turns out to be about 2 inches below the top of my wellies, so I can't travel very fast. Nearly there, and I can see what appears to be the river bank of the River Tame. Out into the light at last. And here it is, the Tame. The Tame flows towards Long Eaton, and it joins the River Trent up at the Trent Lock, and then eventually flows out to the North Sea. Well, our Tame Odyssey is over, but I'm not looking forward to going back through that tunnel.